Hello everyone, how are you? So here we are with one more series for our 21 days of the fast of Daniel. And I have to admit, this is for me such a huge pleasure to be sharing with you and to be participating in this series, because I know that many times we hear about baptism with the Holy Spirit, being baptized with the Holy Spirit, but it just seems so abstract for us to understand. What does he do in our lives? Who is he? Why do we need this baptism? So this series is going to show you with our testimonies, various testimonies, what the Holy Spirit does, how he takes us who are ordinary women and he makes us women who are not ordinary, who are supernatural in a sense, because we, having him, can now take advantage of his supernatural power inside of us. So a time back when we were doing the work of God in Namibia, there was confusion about our immigration papers. We got stopped by the police and they looked at our papers. There was confusion. They said that we were illegal in the country and so we would get arrested. So we got arrested, but it wasn't your typical detention center like you have here in the UK, right? In the UK you have separate detention centers. We got sent to prison. So I remember coming in and I was told that I was going to be locked up with some of the prisoners, with female prisoners, and that I was not going to be kept separate. So we went in and they put me in the female cell. Immediately, the police officer who locked the door behind me said, okay, make friends, and then locked the door and left me. And then immediately a lot of women, I think there were about 20 inmates in that cell, lots of them surrounded me, started talking, pushing me, speaking to me. At that moment, I have to confess, initially I was kind of shocked, taken out of my comfort zone. I was scared for my life because they were really intimidating. And I said only one word. I just said, oh, Jesus. And then immediately when I said that, immediately it was like Moti stepped aside and he took over. The Holy Spirit took over. Immediately, I remember it until today, because it kind of felt like there was silence. They stopped talking at that moment. All of them at the same time, kind of like someone had clapped and said, stop talking. And then there was silence for a second. And then their leader started talking to me. So, okay, why are you here? Started talking to me normally, wanting to know my story. And she kind of, okay, introduced me to everybody and told everybody not to do anything with me. And we just started talking like we knew each other for a long time. I stopped being scared. And I started having God's eyes actually in that. I started seeing an opportunity and I started seeing them as people who needed help. So my concern was no longer about where am I, but I wanted to make the most of that opportunity to reach out to them, to help them. So in that moment where I should have been desperate, I was now very much in control, very strong, and looking forward to helping the women who were there. And I started getting to know their stories, speaking to them, speaking to them about my faith, making them aware of what faith can do. They asked me to make prayers with them, so we held services. We held services in the prison. We would make service. Since I couldn't go to church, I brought church to prison. So I took over, and I remember we would pray together. And while I was there, a lot of miracles happened, because the Holy Spirit was able to reach out in their lives to them through me. And now I want you to see why I became someone unordinary, because up until now you may be saying this is a coincidence, but I want you to see where the unordinary, where the uncommon happened. I wasn't the first one, I wasn't the only one who was brought to the cell that week. After me, 2 or 3 women were put in. And I remember when they came in, it was different for them than it was for me. It hurts me to say this, it hurts me, but it was different. They were beaten up, they were treated very badly. Prison culture. Prison culture is about dominating, is about proving their power. So it was just exactly as, we see it in movies, where people who were brought in were immediately told that they were not in control, or they were made to feel that they were not in control. They were stripped of their power. They were treated in ways it's hard even for me to remember. And I remember sitting there. None of that happened with me. On the contrary, I got treated like a queen in prison. It doesn't make sense, but yeah, I got treated like a queen. I remember they would come to me, for example, oh, let's do your hair. Oh, here's some food. Let's eat. Are you okay? Do you need this? Some of them took their blankets to give to me. Oh, I didn't need because someone brought a blanket to me, stuff for me to sleep with, but they were ready before the person brought them. They were willing to take blankets off their bed to give to me. And so when I was looking at them beating this lady, the one who's their chief, the boss in prison, came to me, sat next to me, and she looked at me and she said, I have to admit that I don't know why this didn't happen with you. Because this is what we do with every single person who comes in, but for some reason, we couldn't with you. So you see, I became someone uncommon. And it wasn't because I was special, but because he was coming out through me. So they were attracted, thinking that they are attracted to me, but they were attracted to the Spirit of God inside of me. He was drawing them to have compassion. He was drawing them to kind of look at me in different eyes, because I was not an ordinary woman. And in that time, I became a pillar of strength for many of them. I remember many of them would come and they would, kind of sit down with me, talk through their problems. We would speak. I would help them. And I became a pillar of strength. I became someone that they depended on so badly. And when I left, they all cried. All of them. They embraced me. It's like they didn't want me to come back, to come out. They begged me, don't forget us. Don't forget us, please. Come to visit me. Because the spirit of comfort, the spirit of strength, the spirit of life, of joy, of peace was leaving. He was leaving their environment, and they felt the difference. They felt the difference that he brought through me, and they felt when he was leaving that something special was leaving. So you see, when you have him, you do not continue an ordinary woman. You become someone who is special, who is precious. And what's happening in the world right now hurts me, because now we see that people are losing value in Christianity. People are becoming atheists, and people are losing value in the Spirit of God. Why? Because not many people have experienced or will experience what he brings. But if you are watching me now, he is calling out to you. He is letting you know that he exists, and he can make you someone who is not ordinary. He is reaching out to you because I'm not special. He didn't just choose me because, okay, you're Moti Bernardino, the special. My friends are going to be sharing their experiences. You're going to see that in each and every one of us, he has done something different, something unique. And now he wants you to be the next. So if you are this person who, you say, I don't know how I would survive prison. Maybe you are just disrupted by a small problem in your life. Maybe something breaks and you become desperate. Oh my God, I don't have money to replace it. And that problem takes over your life. And you are someone who's living life in such an ordinary way, and life is overwhelming you. So this is your opportunity for you to have this spirit that is not common, and that is going to bring to you results that are not common, is going to bring to you a character that is not common, is going to bring to you life that is not common. This is an opportunity for you, so don't miss it. Join us, because he's reaching out to you, because he knows you need him and he needs you as well. He is reaching out to you. Bye-bye. Looking forward to seeing you.